All right, now that is a freaking quinky dink. That freaking black freaking car that just drove away over there just said that. He was like, man, did you see it? I was like, what? He's like, the bald eagle. And I was like, oh, really? I see bald eagles out here. I've seen them out here already before. One day, oddly, me and Maz over here on the other side. Oh, we might be able to catch it, dude. We were over playing the other side, and there's this woman walking with her dogs, and Mom and this lady got to chatting. Come to find out, they had the same freaking name. And at that same moment, there was a bald eagle over here, and he flew like in a big spiral up higher and higher and higher till you couldn't see him anymore, and then freaking disappeared. But he flew right over us a few times, like, and he hung around for a while, dude, and it was really freaking excellent. I would say anytime that you get to catch that kind of wild American nature type stuff is a good moment. My personal humble opinion. Because you don't see it every day, but if you might see it, like, you know, you could see a string of sightings, you know what I'm saying? But look, it's still not something that you see constantly, because there's who in the heck can really chase down an eagle, man? That was what was so freaking cool about it, is that as I watched him like whirl away slowly, just freaking look, and he wasn't even flapping that much, man. Like, maybe he'd sit there and he'd just float for a long time, then he'd flap and get a little, like 20 feet higher, and then he'd stop, and then he'd freaking float around in another circle, and then he freaking eventually just kind of got on out of there. And it was quite a excellent little experience. But, you know, like, that's kind of how these events work. When there's a synchrotronic, man, a synchrotronic moment, synchronicity, they come in waves and in strings, and that's what makes it's like, all right, one thing, you don't want to be reaching and just grasping at any old straw that just is presented to you, so to speak, because when it's a real synchronistic of a synchrotronic event, you'll notice, you will know, there won't have to be a lot of oh, was it, or am I just crazy? Man, am I just going freaking insane? Did I forget to eat my vitamin C today? Am I just hangry? You know what I mean? Did I bump my head recently? You know what I'm saying? Because no, it'll be redundant and ridiculous at the same time. Like, look, there's a form of good redundant and ridiculousness, and it's like, that's the kind of faith that you can trust in, type of a deal. Not blind faith, you know, belief in things like 10 million years ago, when Mastodon still roamed. You know what I'm saying? Those type of beliefs, blind faith beliefs in, you know, empty and vain so-called scientific endeavors, which have been many times over now, have been proven that to be a bunch of funny business, and a bunch of, you know, tinkering, like a bunch of weirdos, man, like a bunch of Egyptologists, like making fake mummies, fake artifacts, Illuminati card, deck card, type of a route to power and control and influence. Because look, you add that false artifact card with the mad scientist card, which is a card, you get a WMD card. You know what I'm saying? Wait, no. WMD. Is that what I said? Was that it? Something like that. Yeah. Sky snake. Yeah. I can see him. I mean, and maybe in a way, man, maybe the sky snake is actually traveling through the hollow laser beams. I mean, oh yeah, that's Candyman land right there. It's Bando now, so there's a lot of dark energy being channeled into these areas. And look also how proceeding a high area right here where they got the graveyard and all the obelisks and stuff on. You come over here and we're in a freaking depression. But then cutting through it, you got a river. These natural borders are also kind of like supposedly borders for spirits and the occult literature. Do I mean I believe any of this stuff? Not really, but I just catalog it and file it away, okay? Don't, just because I got stuff filed away in there, some junk data, well, you know, I lived my life. Most stuff you hear is just knowledge, it's not wisdom. You got to sift through all this endless freaking knowledge to glean from it wisdom-oriented things, okay? So, from my understanding, it would seem from my personal experiences. Also, I wouldn't be surprised, there could be possible Aurora type events, because we're in the same time frame, this a magic window, so to speak, where because of the extra atmospheric, it's basically a solar storm that's going on. And I've seen signs of the solar storm in my own life because when you have malfunctioning electronic equipment, okay? So the phone and the internet's been kind of screwy the past few days as this thing's been on its way in. And there's multiple blasts. Man, this stuff is crazy. Yeah, man, I wish I'd have got a good picture of that triangle. Here's our monolith. Our Mott Park monolith. Hey, buddy. Man. Well, maybe on the top of this, man, I might get one last little sneak peek.
You know the hip that I fell down when we went roller skating in January? That's what hurts. Look at the mallards down here. There. Mallard swimming. They're just carrying on. Look at this crap here.
Yeah.
Why does it look like a...
Why does it look like a big, giant, cloaked mothership's coming and flying in and disrupting and causing waves of wake up there?
Toxic soup.
Yeah, this is going to be off the chain here in about a few minutes. That's for sure. That's for sure.